So today we're working on a position called deep del riva. I'll go over the techniques later. And the rolls I don't know. Today I was like really slow. Sometimes I was like kind of felt like 6 or 7 months ago where I was like, oh, I'm in close guard. So I was just like, so instead of like trying to get out of it, I was like, oh, we're in close guard, so you should have these grips, and just like let them have those grips, rather than use the transition, like have one get use transition. I don't know. I think it's because I was tired and I just wasn't. I was like looking for breaks wherever I could. I think that's what was going on, because that hasn't happened in a while. So I spent like a lot of time just trapping people's grips. It's kind of annoying. Did some nice stand-up work with one guy. He was trying to like foot sweep, and then I stepped around at a sotogari. It didn't work, but I was in that position. If he was lighter, maybe it would have worked. He was like a little taller than me, but probably 40-50 pounds heavier than me. But that was pretty fun because I actually saw him do it, and I was like, oh, I should have done a sotogari there. And then he did it again, and I was like, oh, and then I jumped on it. So that was pretty fun. I was trying to do some open guard today. Wasn't that successful. So it's more like, I don't know, when I'm doing open guard, when the best outcomes for open guard right now are like fighting a slow losing battle where they are just kind of slowly passing the guard. I'm not in a position where I can sweep, but I mean, maybe like that mentality is sort of holding me back. Or like I should be trying to sweep in order to make them more off balance, and then the second or third sweep might actually work. So I think I actually need to review some sweeps from open guard, because right now I am thinking more about off balancing, but yeah, it's still not that methodical, I guess. Also, my feet aren't very firm most of the time, I think. So someone like Tim said this yesterday, that if you don't have a strong, he prefers the shoulder foot placement to the bicep foot placement, because if your bicep placement, if you're not pushing his arm back with your foot in the bicep placement, then he's just going to throw by. He's going to just throw your leg across and pass. And that's exactly what happened today. So, so I don't know, I'm pretty lazy with my legs. I think I need to use my core more. I need to get my hips more elevated. And just engage my legs more when I'm playing open guard. And you gotta fix that before it becomes a bad habit. Well, I mean, it won't really become a bad habit because it just won't. It's like 0%. I think bad habits are when they work like 10% of the time, or maybe even 20 or 30% of the time. So it's like a false positive. This will not turn into a bad habit because it's like a 0% positive rate. Let's see. I think that's it. So today we went over deep del riva. So it's when your hook goes all the way to the other side. So if you are in del riva, we actually started with feet on hips, with wrist groups, and then go to del riva, and then go to deep del riva. So you actually can get on your hip to get deeper. So you want to swing out even wider, and you can get on your side to get deeper. And then your other leg hooks behind the knee like an X-guard hook. So your top leg is pulling toward the back, his back, and your bottom leg is pulling toward his front. So once you have those in, you still have the wrist grips. You can pull them in, and then sweep them to either side. And so you pull them toward you, both with your arms and your legs. So you can push out with your legs just off balance, but then when you want to sweep, you pull him toward you with your arms and your legs. And as you pull the arms toward you, you cross them. You want to cross so that the bottom arm is going in the direction of the sweep, because he'll only be able to post with the top arm, I think, because the bottom arm is kind of trapped. So you want to post so that you want to sweep so that the arm he can post with is the opposite direction. So you want to sweep in the direction of the bottom hand. I think it might be the other way, but that's the logic behind it. Second one is, if he's kneeling, you can get to the same position. So if you're like in a stand-up guard and you're off balancing him and he needs to kneel in order to get a better base, you can enter, kneeling on one knee, you can enter into riva. So you put the hook on the knee that's up. Otherwise it's exactly the same. Oh, when you sweep, so if you sweep one way, I forgot which way it was, but if you sweep one way, your legs are kind of on top of his legs. And then if you sweep the other way, one of his legs is below one of your legs, I forgot. But one of them, you push off with the leg, and then you grab the knee. Well, you bring your leg out from on top, and then you use that to hook and pull his leg up so he can't like take your back or something, and then use that control to grab the knee, and then you can come up. The other side, your kind of legs are pretty entangled, and you can just come up. You shouldn't be able to. You don't need to do the hook.
We all stick together. My business don't trash in the streets for nothing. All this I plant on the streets is my own fault.
Yeah, so same thing with the kneeling. And then the variance of the kneeling is if he bases when he's kneeling, so he brings his weight back so you can't do the sweep. You have a hard time pulling him forward. Then in that case, you take the second leg, the leg that's hooking the knee, not the riva hook. You take that out and you bring it under the arms, and you do like a spider bicep on the. You do like a bicep. You put your foot on the bicep on the opposite side. So if you're using your right foot, you would put it on his right bicep, so on your left side. Push there, and he'll go down to that sweep, and then from there you can come up just like you did before, or you can pull him into an armbar, which I don't think would work unless they're really off balance, or they're much smaller than you, or because it's a bit of movement to get them into the armbar position from there. So those are the moves we're working on today.